Welcome to 5TN, 5 Technology News, the best news in the global world. I am your host, Dr. Yavuz Selim Salai. I have, again, amazing 5 very interesting technology news to share with you. Our first news is about Amazon. Amazon opened its very first cashierless full grocery store in Seattle, United States, as it ramps up its position in the grocery sector, which is a big breakthrough. Our second news is about a musician which uses algorithm to generate every possible melody to prevent copyright lawsuits. Our third news is from United States, Washington, D.C. White House. Ladies and gentlemen, White House plans 5G summit with global tech leaders as battle with Huawei continues. Our fourth news is on the world's second largest Wikipedia. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, the world's second largest Wikipedia is actually written almost entirely by just one bot? And our fifth news is about chess. The defeated chess champ Garry Kasparov has made peace with artificial intelligence. So I'm really thrilled to cover all of these 5 top news with you today. Let's get to Amazon. As you know, the way the groceries are working is changing totally. And on one hand, there are concerns about losing jobs because Amazon has opened its very first cashierless full grocery store in Seattle, and it is ramping up its position in the grocery sector. Amazon is opening its doors at a new Amazon Go location in Seattle on Tuesday, and the new 10,000 square foot store run in the same way as its sister's location, offering a cashierless shopping experience for its customers. So the major difference here is that this will be the very first full-line Amazon Go grocery store of its kind. A representative for the company confirmed to Ntr Tv that the store will sell fresh produce, meat, seafood, bread, and ready-made meals, among other things. It will also stock beer, wine, and spirits. So they offer a mix of organic and conventional items from well-known brands, along with special finds and local favorites, a spokesperson said in a press release sent by the company. This is a very significant step up from its existing Amazon Go stores, which are essentially convenience stores, stocking a mix of grab-and-go breakfast and lunch food as well as snacks. So those stores are located in the center of major cities and tailored to busy office workers located nearby. As you may remember, my dear viewers of Ntr Tv and 5TN, Amazon opened its very first Amazon Go store in 2018. So 2 years after it made public its plans for a futuristic new store, it has since opened 24 other locations all across the United States, mainly in Seattle, New York, Chicago, and San Francisco. So the retail giant is making significant strides in the grocery and in this space and working very hard to grow its reach beyond Whole Foods, which Amazon acquired in 2017. It is slated to open a very new type of grocery store in Los Angeles in 2020 as well. So this will differ significantly from the Whole Foods concept. The new store offers another grocery option that's distinct from the Whole Foods market, which continues to grow and remain the leader in quality natural and organic food in the United States, mentioned by a spokesperson from the Amazon. And this new location will reportedly stock more mass market products, enabling it to reach a very different customer to the typical Whole Foods shopper, and ultimately enable it to better compete with the likes of Walmart and Kroger.
Just swipe in, shop, and go. Amazon Go. The company launching their first full cashierless grocery store, expanding their similar convenience stores to a 10,000 square foot grocery space in Seattle for Amazon members. While smaller than your average supermarket, it stocks roughly 5,000 items, including fresh produce, dairy, meats, bakery treats, and alcohol. The big plus, no waiting in line to check out.
This is super convenient.
It's about, getting you in and out of the store as fast as possible and on to making your dinner or eating your lunch. That's kind of the target consumer, is this very busy working person in a city.
To enter, you need the Amazon app. Shoppers scan in at the turnstile, and then the same technology used in self-driving cars, cameras, sensors, and wireless communication track everything you take off the shelf. Now, Amazon says that multiple family members can shop on the same account, but you don't want to help someone grab that item on a high shelf. because that'll be charged to you, not them.
Amazon is able to tell with these cameras in the ceiling when you pick something up and you decide that you want it, and it can calculate the price immediately.
But what about that friendly cashier or people who bag groceries? The United Food and Commercial Workers International Union called Amazon a clear and present danger to millions of good jobs. Amazon claims they're not taking jobs away, telling ABC in a statement no other U.S.-based company has created more jobs than Amazon, saying the Go stores come with great compensation and benefits for employees. It's unclear how this technology will affect grocery stores in the future, but it's clear that Amazon is moving the grocery game forward and that we all wish this process moved faster. A life without checkout lines? Sign me up.
Our second news is about a very interesting algorithm. So one musician, ladies and gentlemen, went all the way and used algorithm to generate every possible melody to prevent copyright lawsuits and patents. So this musician and a lawyer has used an algorithm to generate every possible melody in an attempt to end music copyright lawsuit claims. Working with programmer Noah Rubin, Damien Reel built a software capable of generating 300,000 melodies. Can you believe in this? And in 300,000 melodies each second, creating a catalog of 68 billion 8-note melodies. The melodies were then copyrighted and released into the public domain in the hope of stifling litigious musicians, citing famous examples of music copyright infringement lawsuits. Mr. Reel said his motivation was to demonstrate that the number of possible melodies is finite and therefore liable to patterns being repeated unintentionally. This was the case when George Harrison was sued. Actually, George Harrison was sued for allegedly stealing the melody from the My Sweet Lord from He's So Fine by the Chiffons, according to Mr. Reel. So the litigation lasted for nearly 3 decades, during which the former Beatle was found guilty of subconscious plagiarism by a United States judge. More recently, singer Sam Smith was forced to settle a copyright dispute with Tom Petty over the apparent likeness between his Grammy-winning song Stay With Me and Petty's hit I Won't Back Down. Smith claimed that he had never heard Petty's song, nor the 3-note descending melody in the chorus that he was accused of stealing. The United Kingdom musician's representative at the time said the likeness was a complete coincidence, but an out-of-court settlement saw Petty credited as co-writers of the track. So, ladies and gentlemen, the melodies created by the algorithm were stored in MIDI form onto a small hard drive, which now contains every melody that's ever existed and ever can exist. So the copyright system is broken and it needs updating. Under copyright law, numbers are facts. And under copyright law, facts either have thin copyright, almost no copyright, or no copyright at all, Mr. Reel said in a recent TEDx talk explaining the project. So I find it very interesting. That's why I wanted to share this patent and how much patent litigations can actually go deeper in terms of the infringement in the music industry. So this algorithmically generated melodies have been placed online with the intention of expanding the catalog to include more notes and chords in the future. The system is yet to be put to test in a court of law, but Mr. Reel hopes that the catalog of billions of melodies will end accidental copyright infringements and give songwriters more freedom to create music. No song is new. Noah and I have exhausted the data set, he said, and Noah and I have made all the music to be able to allow future songwriters to make all of their music. Ladies and gentlemen, after our music news, our third news is a very serious one. In Washington, D.C., the White House plans 5G summit with global tech leaders as battle with Huawei continues. The Trump administration is planning a 5G summit at the White House in early April 2020 as part of its global effort to ensure Huawei does not become dominant in next-generation communications technologies, officials told. The event has not been officially announced yet. The president's top economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, told reporters Friday that such a meeting would happen, and they are going to have a lot of them in the White House to have a discussion. And they're sure that the president will join them in part. And that would include Samsung, and that would include all of their guys, Kudlow said. So the development comes at a crucial moment for United States and Chinese relations. China, which is grappling with the coronavirus outbreak, last month and signed a phase 1 trade deal with Trump, as both sides look to complete additional phases. Behind the scenes, a senior administration official said that they have been visiting with President Donald Trump at the White House to explain their views on how to make sure that American firms continue to dominate the communications industry. Particularly influential in shaping the White House thinking has been Microsoft President Brad Smith, who has discussed the issue face-to-face with President Trump. They have been working with him, and the senior administration official said of Smith, he spoke to POTUS about a month ago and they saw each other in Davos. So the input of Smith and other tech CEOs who have met with the president has helped shape an emerging view that the 5G issue is as much about software as it is about physical infrastructure. They're smarter than we are, and they're patriots, the official said of the CEOs. They want to help the United States be in the lead on 5G. Software and the cloud are going to revolutionize infrastructure. So the upcoming 5G summit is intended to gather information from the technology industry to help the White House press its case with allied countries that they should not allow Huawei equipment into their telecommunications networks. The administration fears that the Chinese government has installed backdoors in the gear that will help for spying on sensitive communications. So despite pressure from the United States, the United Kingdom has decided to allow Huawei equipment in its 5G networks. The White House plans to invite foreign companies based in allied countries, including Nokia, Ericsson, and Samsung. So the Attorney General William Barr suggested earlier that the United States should go as far as purchasing and controlling stake in Nokia and Ericsson in order to provide a safe harbor for non-Chinese telecommunications equipment. But other officials within the White House quickly shut that idea down privately, worrying that it was inappropriate for taxpayers to buy large stakes in private firms. We'll see more after this summit, of course, ladies and gentlemen, what the outcome will be from the White House. Our fourth news is about the world's second largest Wikipedia. I didn't know that. I mean it. And the world's second largest Wikipedia is written almost entirely by just one bot. As you all know, Wikipedia consensus is that an unedited machine translation, left as Wikipedia article, and it is worse than nothing, some may say. And Carl Wilson, who is an administrator on the English Wikipedia and the global user renamer, he does not receive payment from the Wikipedia Foundation, nor does he take in part in editing. And basically, what I get from him and through the links I have reviewed, they are saying Wikipedia's funding goal is to make knowledge freely available online in as many languages as possible. And to date, this has mostly been in English. And different languages on Wikipedia are called editions. And the English age recently surpassed 6 million articles, ladies and gentlemen. So having over 1 million articles is a feat, and only 16 of the 309 editions have been accomplished. So the Cebuano Wikipedia is the second largest edition of Wikipedia, lagging behind the English version by only just over 630,000 articles and ahead of the Swedish and German editions by over 1.64 and 2.98 million articles respectively. So its positioning is rather peculiar, given that according to Encyclopedia Britannica, there are only approximately 16.5 million speakers of the language in the Philippines. So despite having over 5.37 million articles, it has only 6 administrators and only 14 active users. And the English edition, by comparison, has 1,143 administrators and 137,368 active users for over 6 million articles at the time of this has been written. So according to research by Motherboard and comments by several global administrators, highly trusted users who specialize in combating vandalism across Wikipedia editions, this is due to the use of bots, automated tools that primarily carry out repetitive and mundane tasks, but can also be used to generate Wikipedia entries. According to a paper published in Proceedings of the ACM on Human-Computer Interaction Journal, there are approximately 1,601 of these bots in existence across Wikipedia editions. While the English Wikipedia and other editions use these tools to perform repetitive and otherwise mundane tasks, some editions have taken to using them to write content. So while this may not seem like an issue, when the majority of an edition's content is written by a single bot, Actually, ladies and gentlemen, it can negatively impact the quality of the edition. So the particular bot writing, the Cebuana edition, is called LSJ bot, and it was created by the Swedish physicist Sverker Johansson. His creation is responsible of over 24 of the edition's 29.5 million edits. And according to research done by Guillermo Morandini, another global administrator, who has created 5,331,028 of the editions and 5,378,570 articles of 11% of its article creations, almost 100%. So according to that same research, all but 5 of the edition's top 35 editors are bots, with no human editors in the top 10. So based on this, Morandini argued that bots have taken over the Cebuana edition from human editors. Bots are the product of people. Vermont, a long-time global administrator who asked to be referred to by their Wikipedia username, said. They have not taken over any project, rather they have simply desensitized article creation with vast amounts of stop, which means articles. Vermont also pointed out that LSJ bot has made more edits than there are speakers of Cebuano. Riley Huntley, a new global administrator, compiled a sample of 1,000 random articles that LSJ bot created. From the random selection of these 1,000 results that Motherboard reviewed, the majority were surprisingly well constructed. According to Johansson, his bot operates using the following basic principles. To begin, he selects a semantic domain, an area of meaning, and the words used to describe it. For instance, the domain body would include food, hand, face, and so on. So the next step in the process is to find machine-readable databases covering the domain. These will provide the basic facts about each subtopic, food, hand, face, and etc. So to include within the articles, the machine-readable database that LSJ bot used for geography-based articles, for example, is called GeoNames. So I find that that's very interesting. That's why I shared this news with you. I hope you find it interesting as well. My last news before I close this show is about chess. Do you know the champion, Garry Kasparov, which has made peace with AI after being defeated, with this chess artificial intelligence?
The world was paying a lot of attention, and we weren't quite used to that.
Chess events never get covered like that. It was probably the biggest news coverage for a chess match ever.
We were trying to prove that it was possible to build a chess machine that could beat the best human player in the world.
It's also challenging Kasparov in any way. I mean, he's the pinnacle of chess. He's incredible genius.
There were people who, even if just a few years before, said it was going to take decades to do.
The chess world all expected Kasparov to win because the human had always won before.
We'd worked very hard in the intervening year to improve Deep Blue in various ways.
I spent a lot of time in the office playing a lot of practice games, looking for lots of errors that needed to be fixed.
And we were pretty confident that it would do better.
But then we got to the match. That was the chance to see, did we make a difference?
Garry Kasparov has arrived.
He was under tremendous stress, I imagine. The program wasn't behaving the way he was expecting.
He thought that he was going to figure out the computer.
And he wasn't mentally prepared for it, I think.
I mean, the whole game was surreal. What was he doing? It didn't really make any sense.
Whoa! Deep Blue has instantly sacrificed with knight captures e6.
Deep Blue was just sitting there and just keep on attacking, just moving pieces around. And he knew he was in trouble.
But at the end, Kasparov he stands up, he starts gesturing, he looks over at his mother. I think having your mother in the room where you're playing an important chess game is not a great idea, as much as I love my mom.
I was dumbfounded and elated at the same time. I was dumbfounded because I never see him behave that way. He never imagined the world champion, and actually somebody I have great respect to be just raising his hand up in surrender.
We demonstrated that there are multiple approaches to solving probably any intellectual problem.
But back then it wasn't the case. Everybody would look at the computer and say, well, yeah, it's good at some things, it calculates, but it doesn't understand anything.
I worked on this for 12 years. So you can imagine how much energy went into it. When I started, I was like, it was done in 5 to 10 years. I was wrong. It took 12. So I was glad it was over, really.
It is so interesting to see artificial intelligence fighting with champs. So Garry Kasparov is perhaps the greatest chess player in the history. For almost 2 decades after becoming world champion in the 1985, he dominated the game with a ferocious style of play and equally ferocious swagger. Outside the chess world, however, Kasparov is the best known for losing to a machine. In 1997, at the height of his powers, Kasparov was crushed and cowed by an IBM supercomputer called Deep Blue. The loss sent shock waves across the world and seemed to herald a new era of machine mastery over man. The years since have put things into perspective. Personal computers have grown vastly more powerful, with smartphones now capable of running chess engines as powerful as Deep Blue, alongside other applications. More and more, we see more significant, and thanks to recent progress in artificial intelligence, machines are learning and exploring the game for themselves. So Deep Blue followed hand-coded rules for playing chess. By contrast, AlphaZero, a program revealed by the Alphabet subsidiary DeepMind in 2017, taught itself to play the game at a grandmaster level simply by practicing over and over. So most remarkably, AlphaZero uncovered new approaches to the game that dazzled the chess experts. Last week, Kasparov returned to the scene of this famous Deep Blue defeat, the ballroom of a New York hotel, for a debate with artificial intelligence experts organized by the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. He met with Wired senior writer Will Knight and dared to discuss chess and artificial intelligence and a strategy for staying a step ahead of the machines. And basically, we checked an edited transcript, and this is the edited transcript I want to share with you. So, Wired, which is the senior writer of Will Knight, from the Wired, this is the question they are asking. What was it like to return to the venue where you lost Deep Blue? Garry Kasparov's answer is this: I made my peace with it. At the end, of course, at the end of the day, the match was not a curse, but a blessing. Because I was a part of something very important. 22 years ago, I would have thought differently, but things happen. We all make mistakes, we lose. What's important is how we deal with our mistakes, with negative experience. So in 1997, that was an unpleasant experience for Kasparov, but it helped him understand the future of human-machine collaboration. He thought the human was unbeatable at chess. Go shogi. All these games, they have been gradually pushed to the side. And we see more and more increasingly powerful artificial intelligence programs, but it doesn't mean life is over. We have to find out how we can actually turn it into our advantage. So he is saying that he was the first knowledge worker whose job was threatened by a machine. But that helps him to communicate a message back to the public because, nobody can suspect him of being pro-computers. So what message would you want to give people when he has been asked about artificial intelligence? This was his answer. He thinks it's important that people recognize the element of inevitability. When he heard that artificial intelligence is rushing in and destroying his lives, that it is so fast, he says, no, it's too slow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Dr. Yavuz Selim Salai. I really want to thank you for your immense interest and the messages I'm receiving every day. I want to thank you for your interest. I know there is huge opportunities and threats in technology that we always discuss together. I want to thank you on behalf of Ntr TV. Please go to Ntr TV, check our WhatsApp number, and also comment on our YouTubes and provide your opinion. I really want to thank you for really making 5TM one of the best shows in the continent of Africa, where we talk and reach to more than 500 million friends, brothers and sisters who are strong Africans, and also in 22 countries. I want to thank you for being and supporting of our shows. Thank you very much. I want to really Wish you a wonderful rest of the week. Take care and all the best. Bye.